You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Well, shit. Aw, shit. It's Sunday, and look who just walked in. And his mic's not on yet, so hold that thought, because I know that it's been a while since your ass has been in here, but needless to say, me and Smitty are here, and we've got a lot to talk about. As we do every week, we're going to discuss things surrounding NXT TakeOver Portland. We're going to talk about Raw and SmackDown and AEW and NXT and NXT and NXT. Also, the new AEW Women's Champion. We got a lot to say about that. Regardless, get ready because it's Sunday and we're about to
break the ring down.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. You just made the list. This right here is a damn thing.
Hey, this is professional wrestler and professional podcaster Colt Boom Boom Cabana.
My name is Killer Cross.
This is The Smoke Show, Scarlett Bordeaux.
What's up, guys? The After Machine, Brian Cage.
This is Ryan from Pro Wrestling Tees.
Sadly, you are not listening to The Art of Wrestling, but you made a decent choice because you're listening.
You are now listening to...
When you're listening...
And you're listening to...
You listen to Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring. Break it down.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
It is damn true. You are listening to the most inappropriate pro wrestling podcast in the motherfucking world. You're listening to Breaking Down the Ring, and we are your ring crew.
I'm back, bitches. It's Smitty.
And I am the small-handed assassin, Nick the Dick, the Spick, the Prick, the Flick,
You
the
racist
Tick.
son of a bitch.
Not the chick.
That's somebody else.
Anyway, welcome to the show, Sans Mikey, Sans Z. There was I'm going to use the word Smitty actually used, a drunken night of debauchery last night, resulting in their absence today, out celebrating Mr. Z's bachelor party.
Yeah, I caught the tail end of it.
T-minus 13 days and counting. So, till that big day. Yeah. So, shout out to Z. And you know what? I can't blame them, man. I can't, they had a long night. You got to do what you got to do, man. You got to catch up. Got to get that sleep.
Hey, I made it.
You made it. We do have a lot to talk about today. Tonight, there is, a huge pay-per-view with NXT TakeOver Portland. We've got
Stacked card.
Stacked card. We've got Raw. We've got SmackDown. We've got AEW. There was an NXT show in the middle of the week. We're going to be talking about the big controversy of the week from what I'm seeing with the crowning of the new AEW Women's Champion and Nyla Rose. But before we get into all that, it is February. It is Black History Month, and we are celebrating on a daily basis some of the most profound and successful, prolific names that we feel highlight Black History Month in the wrestling world. We're on day 16. I don't think we've put day 16 out yet, but
I know.
Names that have come across the board, if you've been paying attention to our Facebook page, Ahmed Johnson, we've had Sasha Banks, we've had Keith Lee, we've had Jacqueline, Ron Simmons, you know, the list kind of goes on and on. But what I want to do right now is, Smitty, we want to find out from you, and don't go into anybody that we haven't mentioned yet on our page.
All right.
But a couple of these stars that you feel maybe have really had an impact on your life, or really made you, interested in wrestling, maybe have kind of sparked your interest, or like I said, had an impact on your life one way or another.
Okay, so two people that come to mind out of people that have been listed already. Kofi Kingston. Mm-hmm. Kofi Kingston was the first African American to truly become, in my mind, a Grand Slam champ. Well, he's not the first Grand Slam champion African American, but he's the first one that had the WWE's title.
Sure.
Another one was Jay Lethal, because Jay Lethal has been so successful without the WWE system, and I've watched Jay Lethal since he was Hydro in early Ring of Honor, and he's held every title that there has been inside of Ring of Honor at this point now, and he's been a major staple as an African American within professional wrestling in general.
Okay.
Whether it was his run in Impact, the Black Machismo, or his runs in Ring of Honor and the stuff he did while Ring of Honor's been collaborating with New Japan, he's just been a great guy, just one of the greats. And he's had the longest reign as a Ring of Honor champion of all time. Back to Kofi. Kofi, most time as a tag team champion in WWE history. First African American to win full-fledged African American to win the WWE championship. He's won multiple time IC champion, multiple time United States champion. I say pretty sure the only thing he hasn't done is won a Rumble or King of the Ring.
Do you think Kofi, you think we'll see him win a Rumble in the next maybe 5 years?
If they ever get him out of mid-card purgatory.
So I have a question, and I apologize if I don't know the answer to this off the top of my head, and if there is one, it'll probably ring a bell once I hear it. Has there been an African American person that's won the Royal Rumble ever?
Let's see. The closest one we can say is The Rock.
Okay, so I like the idea of Kofi with his first championship being that first guy to win the Royal Rumble. I think we could see it.
I think if we see any African American win the Rumble, it'll be somebody out of NXT, somebody like maybe a Keith Lee or Dream.
Okay.
But if anybody I would like to see, I'd like to see Big E win it.
I just like the idea of Kofi because he's, Mikey tossed around that word a few weeks ago, transcend. He's done a lot for, not only himself, but being that first African American WWE champion. I like the idea of keeping him as that guy with the first because, I feel like he's already going to be a Hall of Famer, but that'll just add to that list.
Bonafide, that title win. Like I said, he was a Hall of Famer before he won that championship. Yeah. Just everything he's done with the New Day, with the stuff he did with Evan Bourne, when he came into the horribly rebranded WWECW. Him and Punk and Lashley were the only three guys I can think that really got over in that brand. Mm-hmm. He's been phenomenal, like his Royal Rumble, his little Royal Rumble stunts there, and he's a good in-ring worker.
Our most recent post, we had Bobby Lashley yesterday for day 15 out of the 29 days. Day before we had trying to think, Awesome Kong.
Yep. Very underutilized in WWE.
Sasha Banks day before that. So yeah, if you do follow our Facebook page, make sure you check out those posts. A good friend of the show, at DJ Baltimore, he's been writing up some really good little snippets about these wrestlers and what they've meant, not only to him, but just as the sport as a whole.
At least when he brought up Jacqueline, I'm like, I read that one, and I was thinking, like, I really wish you mentioned how she was the first African-American woman to hold a title in WWE, and she's the only woman to hold the Cruiserweight title.
I didn't know that. Okay. But yeah, I mean, if you're not already, definitely go like our Facebook page and all of our social media, and you can see these posts from now until the end of the month. A little bonus at the end of the month with the leap year.
Yeah,
You know?
we get one more. One more than usual.
So moving on from that, tonight, NXT TakeOver Portland. We kind of did mention a minute ago how it is a stacked fucking card. It is a stacked card as I've ever seen for an NXT TakeOver event. 7 o'clock tonight, streaming. You know where to find it. It's at the Moda Center in Portland. So is that where the Trailblazers play?
I don't know. I don't know shit about Portland.
Okay. But nonetheless, so stack card, NXT Championship match tonight. Adam Cole, baby, versus Tommaso Ciampa. You've got the NXT
Fight for Goldie.
Daddy's home. NXT Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley, who is your current champion, against Bianca Belair. That's going to be a stellar match. NXT North American Championship. Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic.
Show stealer.
Dude, if you've seen any of these matches between these two guys before, and they've been featured on the NXT Weekly program on Wednesday. It's been a while since they've had a match. Just damn near 5-star match every time. So this is going to be, like you said, probably the match of the night. NXT Tag Team Championship, the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly against the Broserweights, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. Bro. There's a street fight with Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox, and this also could be one of the matches of the night, just a straight-up singles match between Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, so I got a feeling like you're right about that. So either it's going to be Lee Dijakovic with 4 at this point, or it's going to be Gargano. Balor's going to steal a show. Mm-hmm. I've had a little bit of trouble trying to log into my PW scorecard right now. So
speaking of PW scorecards, Pro Wrestling Scorecards, if you haven't already done so, download tonight's card, play along. You can predict the matches. You can predict side bets of these matches, like how many times there's going to be a pinfall attempt, or how many times Bianca Belair hits Rhea Ripley with her hair. I'm not sure if that's one of them because I haven't looked at it yet, but I will after the show, but it has the potential. Those kind of things are what you'll find on Pro Wrestling Scorecards. They're in the middle of a digital beta program, so if you've ever come out to one of our shows at Buffalo Wild Wings, you were able to pick up a code to be a participant in the digital beta, and you can do all the shit online. You don't even have to print it out anymore. So yeah, definitely take advantage of that. And we talk about them all the time. We put them over every week. It just adds a certain level of flair. That is the only pay-per-view event that we will be doing for Breaking Down the Ring through Pro Wrestling Scorecards for our championship.
Nope. Revolution. AEW.
Oh, shit. I forgot about it because it's the 29th, and I'm not. Yep. Never mind. You got lucky, Mikey, because I'm coming back for that title.
And if I actually had access to it, I probably would have been contention if I got Hard Times in.
If you would have had access to it, I would have won because Hard Times would have counted.
Yeah.
Unless you would have.
Once again, I didn't have access to do a Hard Times card.
Some fucking bullshit. No, but our current Ring Crew champion, the All-Mikey one, has the title.
In honor of Black History Month, Mikey, we're coming for you, nigga.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first.
We want the gold, sucker.
But at any rate, TakeOver Portland's going to be huge tonight. Make sure you watch it. I mean, if you've never watched a TakeOver event before, if you're just finding yourself getting into NXT, do yourself a fucking favor. Because
it's a treat. It's delicious.
It's delightful. It is insightful. It warms my heart. You touch my heart.
You touch my heart the way Velveteen Dream touches Roger Strong's family.
Ooh, yeah, we'll talk about that. But I do got to say, and I've said it before, I wish that I would have been watching NXT all along. Because I was at, one point, I had taken a break, a step back, and then I started getting back into watching wrestling, and NXT was just kind of like on the side. And then, I don't know, maybe about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I finally made that choice to start watching it, and it is the premier WWE product right now. So if you haven't had a chance to watch it, don't even fucking go back and watch NXT programming to catch up. Just dive right in with the pay-per-view tonight. For real.
Because you're just going to see bomb-ass match after bomb-ass match after bomb-ass match. And they keep it short, sweet, and simple. I think it was, what, not even a full 2 hour, about maybe 2 hour show at max?
Yeah, 2.5 hours maybe.
Yeah, so you're in for a treat.
So yeah, definitely check it out. Now, going from the NXT Portland pay-per-view, we'll go right into NXT this week. Wednesday Night Wars. We saw Velveteen Dream
Again.
make his return 2 weeks ago, coming after Roddy Strong
For his injury.
and he's making it personal. He is making it personal.
And I love it. He's going full-blown Rick Rude on him.
His pants, what did they say on his ass again? I don't know.
Oh, the first week it just says "Call me up, Marina," and it's just a picture of his wife, of Marina Shafir, who was Roddy Strong's wife, baby mama. I don't know. In this week he had his kid, Marina, and then there was him.
So,
And it still said "Call me up, Marina."
so do you like this? Do you like when things get personal like this? When they bring up the man's family? Because I do. I think it adds something deep to it.
It does. It adds a sense. It adds a sense of reality to it, which we're supposed to be living in kind of a reality era of professional wrestling, supposedly. And what Dream is doing right now is just he's showing why he is gotten so over. Mm-hmm. The charisma. He pushes lines where lots of people feel like you shouldn't push lines, because I've seen online, I'm like, oh, he's going too far with this. I'm like, no, I'm a classic wrestling fan. I remember Rick Rude did this to Jake the Snake's Jake Roberts' wife. Mm-hmm. But the only thing is, he did one more. Dream did one more class. He put him on a leg.
Right.
Rick Rude put her right on the fucking dick, right across the crotch.
And then he pulled that robe off, and those abs just plastered you in the face, and
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't really think that, I think
I don't think it's too much. I think it's just right. It's a kick in the pants that wrestling needs right now.
Well, it really is, because, you could have Velveteen Dream come back after his injury and just go after Roderick Strong because you kicked my ass. And, like, who fucking cares? Like, when you make it personal like this and you add one thing after another between these two, I mean, we're going to be in for a really good match when it finally does come to a head.
They're going to main event NXT TV in about a month.
Yeah. Other highlights from the night: NXT kicked off with a really good match with Bronson Reed and Roderick Strong. I think this match really highlighted Bronson Reed and his ability in the ring. I mean, I've seen him a few other times, and he's good, but I think he really performed well in this match.
It was kind of a coming out for him at this point, because he's been one of those guys that's been kind of featured here and there on NXT. This was the coming out, like, okay, Bronson Reed's going to be a star in this company, in here.
You had Dakota Kai and Candice LeRae. That match for me, I mean, it was good, but it just was kind of filler.
I felt like it was just there.
Yeah, it's just there. Excuse me. Johnny Gargano and Cameron Grimes put on probably the match of the night for me. Cameron Grimes, I wasn't a big fan of him. I mean, I'm not like a fan, but dude can work in the ring.
Trevor Lee, yeah. I watched him do Trevor Lee in Impact. So
so he was in Impact before. Okay.
I didn't name it Trevor Lee.
Okay. Johnny Gargano obviously getting the win here. You had Lio Rush and Angel Garza. These two always put on a really good match. Another candidate for match of the night. And see, this is the thing. If you're not watching NXT and you are a fan of wrestling as a whole, the actual sport of it, the in-ring action, you need to watch this shit, because, I mean, more oftentimes than not, NXT's television show in the middle of the week is almost, if not pay-per-view caliber shit every single week.
Yeah.
Leo Rush got the win over Angel Garza.
He's earned himself another cruiserweight title match.
Yep. Devlin came out, which should be a good match.
Yeah, Jordan Devlin. I don't think I know about him. He was trained by Finn Balor, and I've watched a little bit of him at NXT UK. I'm a tad bit behind with that right now.
Yeah, I've only seen him in a handful of matches, but he's good in the ring, and I'm actually kind of surprised at Leo Rush too, because I wasn't really familiar with him until after his little his thing with that and with Bobby Lashley. I'd never really seen him in the ring, but he's really good in the ring. He's a high flyer. He's quick, and he takes good bumps, and so
finally,
yeah.
Sorry, he's another one where you watch over the years. He's finally learning how to actually sell a bump.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I've seen a spot where he took a bump off a ladder through a table and just bounced right back up.
Damn.
I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah, that's got to put you out. I mean, don't sell shit like that. Give me a break. You're not the Fiend.
God damn it, Super Serio's gonna be terrible.
Bianca Belair and Santana Garrett. Wasn't really much of a match, but the post-match fight with Bianca getting one over on Rhea Ripley, that was pretty solid. I think it's going to be a really hard-hitting match tonight between these two. Bianca Belair, for me, I didn't really care for her when I first saw her in a couple matches, but I really like her. That bitch is powerful.
You don't even go here.
That was hilarious. You don't even go here.
I'm like, God damn it, that's every girl I went to high school with.
Yes. She is a powerhouse. Like, pound for pound, one of the strongest women that WWE has. Not
she's
NXT.
She's also one of the best athletes they had there as well.
Yeah. And I like her even more that I know that she's engaged or married?
She's married to Montez Ford.
Okay, she's married to Montez.
They've been married for almost 2 years now.
Okay. I mean, I would like to see her as the NXT Women's Champion. Not right now. Oh, wait a minute. Let me rewind. As the NXT Champion. Because it's not called... Yeah, whatever.
There's just 2 NXT championships now.
Dumb bullshit.
Well, they're being gender neutral.
Yeah, I would like to see her as the champion eventually. Not right now. I want to see Rhea have a good run with it. But
you want to see Rhea versus Charlotte at Mania.
Yeah. Adam Cole versus Kushida closed the night on Wednesday night. I figured this was going to be another really good match, and it was. I honestly could have watched that match for another half hour.
I actually dual screen both AEW and NXT.
Nice.
Because I have the technology now.
The world that we live in. Hashtag first world problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, honestly, for a go-home show, I will say that I was a little bit I was wanting more. I didn't need to see Ciampa and Cole really get into it. I think that they made the right move in not doing anything outside of getting each other's face. Because it left that on the table for TakeOver.
Is it going to be a hockey fight?
Yes.
Oh, can we put that on one of the next scorecards?
So, yeah, I mean, that sets everything up for tonight. All right, so Smitty, we're not going to go through the pro wrestling scorecard because I know you don't have it pulled up. I don't have it pulled up. And to be quite honest, let's just roll through some predictions. Let's just keep it simple.
All right.
So Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair.
I think Rhea wins. Rhea's gonna have a good run, and her highlight of her title run is going to be her match at WrestleMania with Charlotte.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's. I think WWE will do what they normally do, and I think they may get you to think that you could see Bianca Belair get that title, but no, Rhea, she's gonna take the show tonight.
The journey will be great. But the result will be what we know.
Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox.
My dick's hard for this match. So
Sure it is.
They're just finally starting to highlight both of these women. So this is the one match I have literally want to flip a coin for. But because I love Dakota Kai so much, I'm gonna go with personal bias and say Dakota Kai wins.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I do like Tegan Knox, and the whole overcoming the adversity thing with her double knee injuries and getting attacked at Survivor Series, or excuse me, Takeover.
War Games. War Games.
But I just can't see Dakota Kai taking the L here, so we'll go with Kai. The Broserweights
God damn it, that bit was hilarious when they snuck on Triple H's plane.
against the Undisputed Era. I've got the Broserweights actually taking this one.
I actually have UE holding on to this one still.
Okay.
Because I'm sorry, I'm just not a big fan of makeshift tag teams.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I know Mikey feels the way he does about Matt Riddle, but I think they work well in the ring together. I do like that pairing. It doesn't always work for me. It does, though.
Yes, I'm just not the biggest fan of makeshift tag teams. When they win the Dusty Classic, I'm like, when a makeshift tag team wins the Dusty Classic, I'm like, okay, this has been done like 3 times now. Mm-hmm. Out of 6 times? 4 or 5? I forgot how many Dusty tag team classes.
4 or 5.
4 or 5. 2 or 3 times it's been a makeshift tag team. The first ever winners of the Dusty Rhodes Classic were Finn Balor and Samoa Joe. And so I know then you've had Undisputed Era's won it. Who else? American Alpha. Mm-hmm. But like
Aleister Black and
Ricochet.
Yeah.
And then now you've had the Broserweights. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, I'm not saying that makeshift tag teams are a bad thing. I'm just not the biggest fan of them.
Yeah, you're more of a purist.
Kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
Harlem Heat's my favorite tag team of all time.
Every time I hear Harlem Heat, I can't help think of Booker T.
Call Hogan a nigga.
Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic for the NXT North American Championship. I've got Keith Lee here.
Yeah, I'm going with the brother.
Keith Lee is one of the most over competitors in the game today on WWE's side.
Moment maker.
Bask in his glory. I really do love Keith Lee right
Prophecy
now.
ender.
So again, one of the matches of the night. It's got to be for me. So it should be fun to watch. Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano.
Another coin toss here because we haven't seen Gargano's finally back, and then Balor's just killing it. He's back to doing what he did in Japan with his Fergal Devitt, and I like this Balor. This is the Balor I thought I was going to get when he came to WWE before they tried to turn into a fucking cartoon.
I can see Balor getting the win here by like a DQ.
I actually think Balor's possibly going to win this one because Gargano could take an L and still look good.
Yeah.
And if you're going to build up the next heel that's not UE, that's not a member of the Undisputed Era. I was going to say United. But Undisputed Era.
United Era.
But Balor makes sense. Build another heel.
Yeah.
Right now in NXT, you don't have too many strong, outside of the Undisputed Era, you don't have too many strong heels in that men's division.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. And I like heel Balor. I think that what they've been doing with him is they've slowly been, I feel like they've been slowly grooming him to be, like you said,
the next big bad.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see. But definitely, if you have the opportunity, I've said it once and I will say it again. Please make sure you watch NXT TakeOver tonight because it is going to be fucking phenomenal.
You might cream your pants.
You might. And you know what? That's okay. It's okay because that's what their goal is, right? Isn't
You
it?
got tissue somewhere.
All the cream.
Cream.
Anyway.
Yes, I did print it.
Moving on from that, sticking with the Wednesday Night Wars, we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite.
Holy fuck, that last match was dope.
AEW, lately, for some of us, AEW has been on the decline. I'm not, me personally, not ready to write him off yet. Mikey made a statement a couple weeks ago. We were all kind of wondering how long we would give AEW to, make or break or cause one of us to quit watching. Mikey gave him, I think he said 2 months, 3 months.
We gotta forget. I've almost missed a month here.
So he is at that point.
He's checking out.
I think he's starting to. I don't think he is just yet. Me personally, I'm not as high on them as I was when they first rolled out. But I will say this past Wednesday show revitalized some of that for me. It was...
The opening match was a tag team title match. SCU versus...
SCU!
Versus Paige and Omega.
This match had the potential to be a pay-per-view caliber match. I think it pretty much lived up to that. It was a pretty good match.
I love the whole who did it better, the top rope over the top rope con Hilo. I'm like, between Omega and Scorpio Sky. I'm like, who did it better? I really couldn't even judge that one.
I like what they're doing with Hangman and Omega.
You're just waiting for it's a slow burn for a full-blown heel turn.
Yeah, and I hope it is a very slow burn because I know you're not a fan of the makeshift tag teams, but they're working right now.
Well, really, they're not really too much of a makeshift tag team. They both are on being the elite. They are together with the elite, technically. Even though kayfabe-wise, Paige is on a hiatus from the elite.
Sure.
If you ever want to get some behind the scenes, extra story building for anything in AEW, watch Being the Elite on YouTube. It's a great watch.
Every Monday.
The whole Adam Page drinking thing is hilarious to me.
Yeah, I like...
And the captions that they put on.
Well, I like when he goes and he'll drink a fan's beer. I like that. And
there's signs that say drink my beer.
People are just eating it up. Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara followed that match. This match was just kind of for me. It was one of the low points of the night. Not many, but it was one of them. We saw Hager get involved and help, Sammy Guevara.
Guevara lost this one.
No, I'm just saying, to try and get involved as he normally does. But
yeah, get a repeat from the first time they actually went out.
But this is setting up Hager and Rhodes next week. Yes, Rhodes did get the win, and
that's at Revolution.
Oh, is it at Revolution?
Yep.
I thought it was next week. Okay,
it's at Revolution.
So that's the first time we will see Jake.
Hashtag Jericho's bitch started trending after Dustin's promo.
It's the first time we're going to see Hager in the ring at Revolution. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it should be a good match. Dustin still works in the ring, man. He's still...
The dude's in his 50s busting out Canadian destroyers.
It's great. With
the best of them. And the one he did this week was pretty much a Panama Sunrise.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I don't have a lot of experience with Jack Hager.
Jake Hager.
Matches.
He's got a hot-ass wife.
Does he?
Yes.
Who's his wife?
I don't even remember. I just remember when he first got married, he was...
Okay, Google.
He was posting on social media right after he got married, and then on Valentine's Day, he was posting like pictures of him and his wife. I'm like, God damn it, she's gorgeous.
Catalina White.
Catalina Hager.
Yeah.
And there was a short time where they tried to give him a microphone at WWE, and he's like, my hot-ass wife, because the guy has a Sylvester and Tweety-type lisp.
I'm so happy you decided to marry to me, and we can live the rest of our lives together. My wife's hot.
And the funny thing is, I tried to give him a pass on the lisp but not being able to cut a promo, but then I listened to Moose in Impact. He has a heavy lisp, and he actually can cut a decent promo.
Make it work for you. That's all you got to do. We had Britt Baker come out.
I didn't care for her promo.
See, I've read a lot. It's either a love-hate thing with her promos. People either love it or they're just fucking tired of it already. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. I like her as a heel.
I like heel Britt Baker, but I think like she needs a lot of work on someone here on a promo tip here.
And I think she'll get there. Not only do I think she needs a lot of work in the ring, though. I think like she's
a
good in the
no-seller.
ring, but yeah, she no-sells shit. And to me, when you do shit like that
Takes away from you.
that hurts your integrity big time. You know. We also had. I'm going to skip this one for just right now, but we did end up with Jungle Boy and MJF. This actually turned out to be a pretty good match.
Can we just stop calling him Jungle Boy and just call him what JR calls him, Jungle Boy Jack Perry?
Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
That was just like, because honestly, it's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah. I like his character, though. I think he's a good worker in the ring. There's a lot of these things that AEW is doing right, but, you know, over the last few weeks, there's still those little things. While they may be nitpicky, they're big issues.
But also something that happened before that, they had a quick little Darby Allin kind of promo, which I think is going to lead to us seeing Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara at Revolution.
That'll be a good match. We saw a Pac promo.
The Bastard Pac.
The Bastard Pac with a promo for Kenny Omega.
They're going to fucking kill it in the Iron Man match next week.
They killed it at All Out, and next week 30 man Iron Man match.
30-minute.
30-minute Iron Man match. They're gonna steal the show as well. I can't wait for that one. We also had a interview with JR and Santana. Santana talking about how his father was, blind as a kid, and he ended up dying when he was really young. And it actually it pulled you in, because I'm used to just heel Santana, but it really kind of made you.
I've heard. Once again, as much as I love LAX. I love the newest rendition of Pride and Powerful now. But Santana and Ortiz are great as faces or heels. They work like you said with they work with what they have. Mm-hmm. And usually Santana is the one that talks between the two of them, because Ortiz is just fucking like a nut job. His whole character's like kind of a nut job,
like a Tasmanian devil.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it! Now I thought about Taz's original gimmick.
You're welcome. But yeah, and that really kind of put out the feelers there, and made you really see who Santana was as a person, and that really helped build this match for the main event with Moxley and Santana.
The eye for an eye. God damn it, the violence in AEW excites me.
Inner Circle also teased Jeff Cobb coming, which was allegedly supposed to happen next week. But Jeff Cobb did show up in.
Speaking of Inner Circle, I love the fact that the whole crowd started singing Jericho's entrance music when they cut it.
Yeah,
and Jericho almost broke character.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you look at his face, he almost broke character.
Yeah, I like. You've seen that more and more. I noticed that they were doing that at like Double or Nothing and some of those early pay-per-views, but yeah, they're starting to all sing along now.
Yeah, full crowd participation in your intro.
He's one of the most over heels, if not character, period, in all of wrestling. So, the Jon Moxley Santana match was a good way to close things out. Jeff Cobb coming out after the match, and
dude, I'm not gonna. I marked the fuck out when I saw it.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Jeff Cobb.
I'm not familiar with him at all, but anytime a character gets introduced that is a surprise return or
a surprise signing
coming from a different company, that's always a good thing. No matter if it's AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor, I always enjoy that. So it was cool to see. There's a lot of talk like, well, AEW, they should save these debuts as a surprise because they never do it, and you should have had him come out next week, or well, as a casual fan, I'm not familiar with Jeff Cobb, and you can't fucking win for losing. I mean, there's always going to be somebody that's going to bitch about, well, you didn't do this right or you didn't do that right, but either way, they're going to do it.
Yeah, but I'm a fan of Jeff Cobb. I've only started watching maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, and I've just become a fan. The guy's a great in-ring guy, powerhouse, really athletic for somebody his size. had a good run as Ring of Honor television champion. The Tour of the Islands finishing maneuver that he uses, it's just fun to watch. And I'm really looking forward to seeing I think he and Moxley are going to just fucking tear the house down next week.
It's next week. Yeah. Okay.
So, and then also, like, next week's card is already pretty much fully announced for AEW, and it just looks like it's going to be really good.
Next week, is that the steel cage match
Yep.
with Cody and Wardlow?
Cody Wardlow. You got the 30-minute Iron Man match, tag team battle royale for number one contender at Revolution. The Lucha Brothers versus Omega and
nice.
And Paige for the championships, and then you have we just talked about Jeff Cobb versus John Moxley.
See, these are the things that AEW is doing right. They're putting together these really stacked cards for their regular weekly show.
And they're building for Revolution. The slow burn for Revolution, some of the Revolution builds are decent. Like the Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, or whatever thing they're doing right now. The fact they set the match for Dustin versus Hager. Like everything they're doing with the Inner Circle and Moxley is investing you into that world title match.
Well, and we also saw Brandy Rhodes come out and join commentary and
the MJF match.
Well, make good terms with Excalibur. And, she came out earlier in the week in an interview, and they were talking about the Nightmare Collective and that gimmick, that she had with Awesome Kong and the bald chick, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I forgot her name.
And, she had come out and said, it's not working, more or less, and they're going to basically listen to what the fans are saying because the fans aren't happy with it. And they're ditching that gimmick completely.
Which is kind of smart.
So I actually kind of like that. You don't see it. You don't really see them say, okay.
A company saying, all right, this is not working, let's scrap it.
Right. And you kind of saw that when she came out trying to help Cody with when he was getting his 10 lashes. And you
that
saw
was hard to watch.
Yeah, that was brutal.
And I'm not like brutal as in like terrible. It was like, why am I watching the guy get whipped right now?
And it lasted for 15 minutes.
Yeah, and I almost turned it off.
That's another one of those matches, like you were saying, this slow burn.
Slow build. It's not even a burn at this point.
One of the things that AEW is doing right, and I hope that they don't go away from having pay-per-views, like quarterly pay-per-views. I think that that's one thing that...
The next one is Double or Nothing. They announced already.
May 23rd. I think they announced the date for it. So yeah, they're doing these pay-per-views once a quarter, and that gives you enough time to become invested in these storylines. They could take a turn one week that you don't like and turn right back the next, and it's a way better format in my eyes. And that's an old school mentality when you had the big four. I think that they need to
in your house every now and again.
Yeah, and that's okay, but you have these big four pay-per-views, and it just makes for better story.
I was like, WCW's the one that kind of killed that when they started doing monthlies. It was
they
WCW.
were the first?
Yeah, WCW was the first one to go monthly.
Yeah, see, that's too much.
And that was during Monday Night Wars, and that's when WWE decided, we'll go monthly.
I like where WWE is at right now because they're going from the Royal Rumble to the Elimination Chamber. With Super Showdown, but it's like a glorified house show.
It's a glorified house show with Brock Lesnar and Goldberg.
Yeah, but I'm not excited for that at all.
I'm not either.
I'll probably watch it still, but
I got invited to somebody's place to watch it.
Yeah, you did. Super Showdown.
Not that kind of Super Showdown, asshole.
Live from Manad, Saudi Arabia. Okay, so backtrack a little bit. We did see the AEW Women's Championship change hands going from Riho to Nyla Rose.
And honestly, that was way better than their first match.
It was. And Nyla Rose did get the victory to claim her first championship.
Controversy.
There is a lot of controversy surrounding this. So, for those that aren't familiar, and if you're listening to the show, I would assume you're familiar, Nyla Rose. being transgender. So, there's the internet wrestling community that half of them have this huge problem with it, making a lot of homophobic jokes.
Transphobic, not homophobic.
There's all of it. There's all of it.
I didn't see the homophobic. I've seen the transphobic comments.
Mostly the transphobic. But I've seen, because there's those ignorant people out there that just make a joke to fucking make it, and they don't make any sense. Bless you.
Thank you.
I'm not here to get political. If you don't identify with this, with transgenders, if you feel like that's against your beliefs, I got no problem with that. You are you, I am me. I have no problem with that. You live your best life. All honesty, it doesn't.
We ain't going back and forth with you niggas.
No, not a problem. But what I do have a problem with is the guys that say they. How can I put it?
You put the women's title on a man.
You put the women's title on a man, but you also, at the same time, don't have a problem with an old woman giving birth to a hand. And these crazy gimmicks that we've seen over the years, the idea of wrestling, and I'm sorry, you don't have to agree with me. This is my thought. The ideas in pro wrestling with the gimmicks that we've seen, no matter what promotion you're watching, no matter who it is, the color of their skin, the gender, old, young, whatever, and this is what, to me, is being picked apart the most.
At the time being, yeah.
I can agree with, there's women that are out there that are in that women's division that are busting their ass, and they want to make a name for themselves, and they're not getting an opportunity.
Hikaru Shida, Chris Statlander. I love those two. I love watching those two work, and I would rather But on a positive, on another note, they were eventually going to do this eventually,
right?
And in a certain part of my mind, I'm like, do it now. Mm-hmm. Just do it now. So whenever things go forward, this is already done.
Well, and then there's guys out there that are saying, well, she, he, whatever you want to call her. I'm not here to argue the politically correct terminology.
We just use proper nouns. Nyla.
Yeah, Nyla gets in the ring, and I'm going to say she has so much more strength than a female.
In other words, Nyla's at a physical advantage.
Physical advantage, okay? But the idea of wrestling, point blank, period, is to suspend your disbelief. When you have Ricochet in the ring against Brock Lesnar, the idea, you may not think he'll win, but the idea is there that that he could potentially win. Or the 1-2-3 Kid against Razor Ramon. Razor Ramon twice, if not bigger, as big as the 1-2-3 Kid, and the Kid wins the match. I could sit here for an hour and list these things, and you as a wrestling fan,
beats the 7 foot, 500-pound Big Show.
Right. So you're okay with that because it's man against man, but you have Riho, who is 90 fucking pounds, as your AEW Women's Champion, and you're cool with that. But then when this woman, man, whatever you want to call her, is living her life as whatever she wants to be, whatever she's comfortable with, doing the things that she believes is right, taking hormone pills, whatever, and trying to get that opportunity on the wrestling level, not in real life. Wrestling, kayfabe, gets this title, and now you're mad.
Wasn't mad. I felt they should have.
Yeah, no, not you.
I understand how some people would be angry, and honestly, it's just
it's fucking wrestling.
It's wrestling, And now you're bringing political and LGBTQs getting involved. And I'm like, okay. You're taking the fun out of it just at this point.
And there's people out there, well, what about this that happened 10 years ago or 15 years ago?
Like somebody brought up the fact that Tessa Blanchard's the Impact World Champion. I'm like,
And
so the thing about Tessa, like, I kind of defended the Tessa thing at one, because once again, I'm a fan of Impact Wrestling. Like, Tessa didn't, like, okay, I just say Tessa is a woman, and she fought the guys she fought Sami Callihan to become champion.
Mm-hmm.
There is a complete difference between that and the whole Nyla Rose thing, but that's more semantics than anything else. Also, side note for Impact, congratulations to Jordan Grace, new Impact Knockout champion as well.
I'm of the party that, just my thoughts. I can agree with if you're a woman and this male, female, whatever you want to call her again.
I just said Nyla.
Nyla comes along and takes away your opportunity. I can see you being a little disgruntled, not
butthurt about it.
Not butthurt about it. Like, and with Tessa Blanchard, are there guys in that locker room that are mad because she's taken away that opportunity, or are they glad-handing her and saying, good job?
They're glad-handing her pretty much, saying congratulations, you're breaking barriers.
Right. She is breaking a barrier. And I'm not saying Nyla Rose is breaking barriers, but on some level, for a lot of people, she is.
For the LGBT community.
So that's why I think that we've seen some homophobic issues out there, because that they're all grouped together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I have a personal opinion about that one. I have friends who are lesbians and gay and bisexual, and I'm like this. Okay, don't get me wrong. The thing between sexuality and genderism is those are two completely different plights, and lumping them all together is just unfair. And I'm not going into detail about that.
That's fine. I don't understand why it has to be such a big deal. And I'm not mad at anybody for feeling the way they do it. Joe, who is on our show, has a lot of strong feelings toward this, and he's definitely entitled to them. I semi-agree. I do semi-agree, but I'm on the fence. Like, we live in a world where political correctness can get you being politically incorrect can get you in trouble. Yeah.
Most of the time, I don't give a fuck. But like I say, as a person that has friends and family under the banner of them all being lumped together, I kind of have to tread lightly about certain things, just to not sound like a fucking hypocrite.
I just feel like there's just been way too much in pro wrestling with the hundreds and thousands of gimmicks that we've seen in the past. At this point in time, this is where we're at, that people have to get so offended and have to feel the way they do. And it's okay. I'm not mad about it.
Triple H necrophilia.
But just it's fucking wrestling, dude. It's all it is. It's for me. And I could be wrong. And if you think I'm wrong, that's fine. I don't agree with your opinion sometimes. It's not, that doesn't make me hate anybody. I just don't feel like it needs to be made such a big deal out of when we have, China in the ring with a man, and China getting she was Intercontinental Champion.
Twice.
Okay? Nobody fucking barked about that because, while she is a woman, born woman, get the fuck out of here, because she's stronger than half of that fucking WWE roster was at the time.
Yep.
But it was okay to put her in the ring with a woman too, wasn't it?
Yep.
Right.
I think that's one thing that a lot of people have said about Nyla. Was like, if you're gonna put Nyla in a ring with women, put her in a ring with men too, because she had that physical advantage.
Well, but Nia Jax, who's to say that Nyla Rose is stronger than Nia Jax? Nia Jax is stronger than me. I'm a fucking man. Nia Jax is stronger than you. You're a man. She's a woman. She busts her ass and she lifts weights and she takes her vitamins and she
Says her
trains.
prayers.
And, you know, Beth Phoenix probably kicked my fucking ass, and that's okay.
Jordan Grace, fuck.
You know? I don't know.
I finally put 2 and 2 together like last week that Jordan Grace is dating Jonathan Gresham. Jonathan Gresham is a Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion with Jay Lethal right now.
I'm not. Yeah. You're sidecasting, buddy.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Well, Jay Lethal was brought up inside of our...
No, yeah, you're right. You are correct. Anyway, real quick, I did want to mention before we move on from the whole Nyla Rose thing. Did you catch JR's comment?
Oh, King of the Mountain. And, dude, the internet tried to bury him, but people still came out to defend JR.
When she won, JR said, Nyla Rose, now the king of the mountain.
Of the women's division.
I don't really think that he put any thought into it, you know?
But no, the people that tried to bury him tried to defend Cornette at that point.
Really?
Yeah, some people said, like, also it's okay for Ross to say something like this, but when Cornette made a comment, NWA got rid of him.
That's not the same thing. I'm sorry. You don't have to agree with me.
No, I don't
not
think
the same thing.
I don't think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But I'm also at the point. Elk of also. This is Jim fucking Ross,
Yeah.
and that's James Cornette. James Cornette has already pissed a lot of people off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jim Ross really hasn't pissed anybody off that we know of.
That's all people want to do is they want to find a situation that had, on some level, you can pick a similarity out of it, and then you can nitpick it to death, and you can beat it to death, and all of a sudden you're trying to make a mountain out of a molehill, and it just, I don't fucking buy it.
This is James Cornette. This is James Cornette who said Kevin Owens would never get past wrestling outside of outside of a place with 400, 500 people.
Yeah, now look where he's at.
2 years later, the guy's damn near headliner, has one of the best matches on WrestleMania.
So anyway, we'll move on from the whole Nyla Rose thing. She's going to be your AEW Women's Champion. She's going to be for a long time. And you know what? If you don't like it, then don't watch. Or I don't know. Fucking watch something else or get over it. It is what it is.
Here's the thing: is that when Nyla loses that title, it's not going to be in a one-on-one. It's going to be in a multiple women match, and she's not going to get pinned.
Sure. Now, okay, let me add one more thing. Do you think we'll see intergender matches in AEW anytime soon?
Sometime down the line. It's because if you really want to be different, if you want something to do something different from in AEW that they're not doing in WWE, intergender wrestling is one thing, the way to go. Mm-hmm. Like you're seeing a lot more of it now in places like Impact. And even there's the Man-Eater in Ring of Honor where she's fighting guys.
Do you think if more people were familiar with intergender matches and that the fact that they happen more often than we know about, that this would have been such a big deal?
I think it would have softened the blow a lot. Because Candice LeRae in NXT, she's done intergender wrestling. She was in the tag team with Joey Ryan for like a good 2 years. Mm-hmm. They called themselves the world's cutest tag team.
Chris Statlander has done some intergender matches with fucking Nick Gage.
You're proving my point.
So that's another reason why I'm just kind of like, dude, whatever, who fucking cares?
Like Allison Kay, she's done intergender matches with guys like Joey Ryan as well.
So we'll have to see what happens there. Honestly,
Sadie Gibbs.
I'm kind of glad that they took it off Rio, whether it's Nyla Rose or whoever, because while she's kind of fun to watch in the ring, I was never overly impressed with her.
That's Kenny Omega's pet project, and like pretty much from what I'm understanding, the women's division in AEW is pretty much being ran by Kenny and Brandy.
Mm-hmm. Well, it needs some work. I will say that
it's a young company, it's a young division. Mm-hmm. Lots of the people on that division, you don't know who they are. Though I think the most well-known person in that division right now is Awesome Kong, and she's rarely used.
Right. All right, so let's move on. Let's officially move on to Raw this week. Raw again for I don't know second or third week in a row has put on a pretty decent show. For me,
I felt like it was just kind of there, but also I feel like Raw's been so I've been so checked out of Raw and SmackDown. It's been in the background.
Raw, I think it's just too long. I think 3 hours is way too much.
Ad time and the Universal, USA, NBC money, whatever.
Yeah. We had a Seth Rollins opening up Raw alongside Murphy, who's
They got rid of his fucking first name.
no longer known as Buddy Murphy, but Seth Rollins, Murphy in the AOP. And there was a quick brawl at the beginning of the night.
Can I say I love the whole Monday Night Messiah thing? I just want him to start. He's already putting the hands together thing. I just want him to start talking like with one hand up, as if he's giving you a blessing.
Yeah. Well, he's supposed to have some, what do they call it? They use some kind of religious title for like some promo that he's cutting this week. I wish I could remember what they were calling it.
I want him to have 12 disciples.
And
So AOP and Buddy Murphy.
all these followers.
No, he's going to start calling them disciples.
You know, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of all the crap that happened on Raw this week. It was a mishmash. You had,
The MVP.
yeah, MVP came
lounge.
back with the VIP lounge, and Drew McIntyre was out there and talking a little bit about WrestleMania, and then he ended up claymoring MVP in the fucking mouth.
Because the MVP was pretty. The whole promo was pretty much everybody said, I should be your manager.
Yeah, he was trying to get on Drew's good side. Obviously, that didn't work out too well.
But he also wrote the relationship between him and Drew when Drew first got to the company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know that. Did they ever work together? Or
I don't know if they worked together, but I know they said they traveled together
okay.
at one point.
You had Sarah Logan and Rhea Ripley in a match.
Squash.
Big time squash match. This opened the door for, Charlotte and give an opportunity to Charlotte to kind of announce what was happening with their match. But, that still really hasn't been made official yet.
Yeah, because she said, you still got to get through Bianca, that whole bit.
Yeah, so, but it's inevitable.
The Randy Orton, Matt Hardy bit was actually pretty good.
I think that they're squashing Matt Hardy out of the company. Kind of what it feels like.
'Cause he's been on social media. He was on social media with a little soft neck brace.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people think he could be the exalted one for the new the Dark Order in AEW.
See, the funny thing, that gimmick I didn't like that, but it's starting to grow on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because they're like, is it Christopher Daniels? It could be Brody Lee when he comes up, when he finally debuts, when his no compete clause is up.
There's a lot of variables.
Speculation for who the exalted one is.
You had Angel Garza and Cedric Alexander in a match. This was just,
A repeat of what happened over the last 3 weeks, pretty much.
Yeah,
just with
filler.
a different person.
Bobby Lashley and Ricochet. Ricochet actually held his own for the most part in this one and got the win over Bobby Lashley. And Lana was fucking pissed. It was great. I like seeing Lana get all pissed off and hate her life.
I just want to see her wrestle Liv Morgan in that dress again.
I just want to see Liv Morgan. Yeah, we did have the Randy Orton and Matt Hardy segment where,
Or you motherfuckers concertos now.
yeah, he gave Matt Hardy an RKO and then, the solo concerto. And
I'm so glad they brought that back right now.
I think it's good for Orton's character. He is just getting fucking heel heat right now.
And he's one of the best at getting it, too. And It's
Yeah.
not go away heat. It's like, dude,
It's
I
good
want to
organic
kick you in the
heat.
balls and chop you in the throat. And maybe put a pencil in your eye.
Well, it's
Kinda
good,
heat.
good too because he was starting to come around as more of a face.
He's a stale face.
know,
He's
yeah.
a super stale face.
And this solidifies yet again of how good of a heel Randy Orton is. Aleister Black and Akira Tozawa. This match was a fucking fart fest.
I'm not a fan of what they've done with Tozawa.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of what they're doing with Black right now. I think they need to put him in the mix with, it gets too repetitive for me.
At least put him somewhere in the mid card.
Yeah, like.
Well, the higher mid card. I'm talking about where the U.S. title is, but
I think they will eventually. But we had Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, and the Viking Raiders against the AOP, Murphy and Seth Rollins to close the night. This match was actually pretty solid. And ultimately, you did have the Monday Night Messiah and his disciples getting the victory.
See, got a nice ring to it, right?
It does. It really does. And I like his shirt, too, with like
the stained glass like a church window.
That's great. So, yeah, I mean, Raw was... I did enjoy Raw.
It had its bits and pieces where I was like, okay, this is pretty entertaining. Else I was like, okay, this is the same shit I've been watching for the last 2-3 weeks.
But I think that as we get closer and closer to WrestleMania, they're starting to pick it up a little bit.
I think they're still focused on the Super Showdown bullshit right now.
I think that if they were to eliminate Super Showdown, which they won't because they have a 10-year deal with Saudi Arabia.
And they missed the opportunity to pull out twice.
Pull out.
Twice.
Don't miss that opportunity to pull out, for the love of God.
Yeah, that's how you get KIDs.
So you had Becky Lynch and
Vampire
Becky
face.
Lynch and Asuka for the women's title, and they were putting out a pretty decent match. And then Shayna Baszler happened. Shayna Baszler attacked Becky Lynch from behind.
Vampire.
And fucking blew my mind, bit and chomped down on the back of her neck.
Not even a full day on Monday Night Raw, and you're already standing there killing Baszler's character with a goofy ass vampire thing.
It was a little weird.
I was pissed.
I just was kind of like, that one meme where like the dude raised his fingers like
Yeah. Oh, Fry. No, I just saw them like this, and then like, oh my God, is he biting her? Is she biting him? Like, no. I'm like Steve Carell. I'm like Steve Carell in The Office. No. Yeah, that was me.
Well, my daughter was watching. She's like, "Oh, is that real blood?" I'm like, no, not real blood.
Yeah,
it's I.
In order, Joe, tickle butt.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it wasn't the worst thing in the world, but at the same time, you didn't need to do that.
You could have just choked her out with a careful clutch and just called it a day.
Like, and that's the thing she could have did. She could have choked her out and let her pass out in the ring, and done that a couple of times. And you're Shayna fucking Baszler. You don't need to bite anybody in the back of the neck.
Shayna Baszler should get the Ronda Rousey, like the way I described to somebody else earlier the week, a Ronda Rousey kind of style push, because she's a legit badass fighter.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need the goofy fucking gimmick, or you don't need the, like you said, you don't need the bite or scratch or claw. It's not a cat fight, damn it. You're not a cat fighter. You're a legit, I will beat your ass.
Right. You fight like a dude. Like, you fight to beat bitches up. You don't need to, like you said, you don't need to cat fight. You're not pulling the claws out. You're not ripping hair. You're beating the fuck out of chicks. You don't need to bite them. Whose idea was that to have her bite Becky Lynch?
That's
I want to
good
know.
shit.
That's real good shit. Bite her. Just fucking bite her. Fist her.
I think we talk about this all the time about WWE creators. There's too many fingers in a pot, and just sometimes
Too many fingers in your
bullshit.
ass.
It's like, sometimes this bullshit gets through and gets on TV. A lot of the time, bullshit gets through and gets on television.
Yeah, man. I don't know. And then somebody had said that they had censored it. Maybe on Hulu. I wonder if it was censored on Hulu.
My Hulu
Because
account
it wasn't on
deactivated
USA.
right
I watched the whole thing.
now. Yeah, I did too.
And then, Becky from there
hijacked the ambulance.
She sold it pretty well.
She sold the bike, but then she went. But when she came back, when she hijacked the ambulance and came back in the ambulance,
Yeah.
Like, come
Get
on.
out of my way! You don't need a and then
I'll drive myself to the hospital.
and then she came back and cut a quick promo in the ring. And
Yeah, this is like you're already damaging a potential match of the night story.
So I'm assuming Becky and Shayna at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah,
Does this hurt that at all?
it puts a damper on it. If it wasn't for the fact that you're so focused on this damn Super Showdown bullcrap, if this is what you want to start your WrestleMania build with, you kind of starting from you're starting with a shackle and a ball and chain right now.
You're already digging yourself into a hole. Do you think that I can come back from it?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. But you gotta leave the goofy bullshit like the biting out of it.
Are you going to care about it as much as you would if she hadn't bit her?
Yes, because once again, we said we love NXT. We see what Shayna is capable of. We've seen what Becky is capable of. Becky's over this last year has proven she's gotten better with the promo. Mm-hmm. Shayna doesn't really like. Shayna just she cuts promos. They're sweet, simple, and just beat your ass. That's all you need to do to carry this story.
Right.
You don't like I said, you don't need to catfight.
Yeah, I think they can bounce back from it, but I would have cared more about it in the long run had this biting incident not happened. Now, I could change my mind depending on what they do from here. Now if Becky goes back and bites Shayna, I'm out.
Oh God,
I'm out.
Just got my stomach turn.
Yeah, if she beats Shayna with some kendo stick or hits her with a car or any of the above, fine. Please don't fucking bite her.
She did it for The Rock.
Please don't fucking bite her. Okay, moving on. SmackDown.
SmackDown was kind of lackluster this week.
It was okay.
But poor Otis.
We'll get to that. So to open SmackDown, we had a moment of bliss with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss interviewing Carmella. This led to Carmella and Bayley in a match. This match went on for about a half hour, this whole thing. From the start of SmackDown to the bell ringing to end the match where Bayley won, this was about a half hour segment. That's a lot for this right now.
It was honestly, that moment of bliss was just so fucking weird. Why can't Carmella still cut a decent promo?
I'm not sure. She's gotten a little better.
She's gotten a little better, but I really feel like nobody cares about Carmella since they split her from Truth.
Yeah, I would agree. And I did. I loved them together. And it's like, I don't understand why they have to WWE themselves into this again, and you ruin a good thing.
The 24/7 championships, like, I'm sorry, I'm glad, like, I get you got to experiment this title on other people, but Mojo Rawley and Riddick Moss, nobody who knew who the fuck Riddick Moss was when he was at NXT.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
And all of a sudden now he's your new 24/7 champion.
Well, you don't even need the 24/7 title on Truth to make Truth and Carmella continue to work.
I know they've been working since the whole tag team mixed tag mixed challenge, whatever the fuck that bull crap is. I'm sorry, I hate it because like I told you, I hate the whole mixed match tag team challenge, whatever they call it. Yeah, because if you're gonna do mixed intergender matches, just do intergender matches. Mm-hmm. Don't always say, "Oh, the men have to fight the men, the women have to fight the women." Yeah.
After that match with Bayley and beating Carmella, Naomi came out to the ring and.
I love Naomi's new look, by the way,
with that fro and
it's sweet God, like Pam Grier.
Yeah, she looks really good right now, and she lost a little bit of weight, and
that ass
which
still fat.
it was never a problem.
You know, still got that fat ass. Jay is a little fatter. Say, Mr. Uso, kudos to you.
Uso.
Hey, but don't get me wrong, Bayley's still caked up and caked out.
Caked up and caked out. Sheamus Took on Shorty G and Apollo Crews in squash fodder match.
I really, 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 really hate this whole everything they've done with Chad Gable since this fucking short gimmick.
Oh, you mean you don't like Shorty G?
No, I like Chad. His name is Chad Gable. I will give you a Fight Club chant. His name is Chad Gable.
Another
This
one
man's
of
a
those.
former fucking Olympian.
Another one of those, tickle butt things that. All right, we're gonna call you Shorty G from now on. It's good shit.
And I think it was like that you could you get in trouble for shaming anything else in this world except being short.
Yeah, true. Thank God he's not ginger too. Fuck, Shorty Ginger. Regardless, Sheamus ended up squashing Apollo and Shorty G.
And Apollo took the pin just because we all know Shorty G's going to get his W eventually.
Eventually, but right now it's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan ended up cutting a promo against The Fiend live via satellite. I didn't know Hogan got a tattoo on his forearm.
Yeah, I think he's got that a couple years ago.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he got it when he was on Impact.
Okay. Basically trying to warn The Fiend about getting in the ring with Goldberg come Super Showdown.
I will say that was probably one of the better parts of the whole night.
It was.
With Bray Wyatt, especially when Bray Wyatt's Firefight Funhouse kind of cut into the feed.
Yeah, and it was like as an NWO type graphic, and then he was throwing some like Hulk moves out there.
And he was playing the title like the guitar, like air guitar, like Hogan used to do in NWO.
Mm-hmm.
But it also got over. It also got the NWO going over in the Hall of Fame as well. So it was a 2 bird, 1 stone. Great promo.
That's right. It did work. Hogan ended up, kind of stomping off and be like, I'm out of here. I actually am a little intrigued to see Goldberg and The Fiend. I want to see how they're going to work this out.
Ask Mark Calloway.
Yeah, and I don't see Goldberg going over here.
I don't, but I wouldn't be surprised, but I'll also be overly pissed because putting both your major titles on 2 part-timers.
And there's been rumors that I've seen flying around that they're going to put him over.
They're going to put Goldberg versus Roman at Mania, supposedly. That's one of the things I've been reading. I'm like, that's under the rumor mill.
I don't want to see that.
Well, we all know Roman's going to Mania for a major title. After this, this Corbin thing is just something to keep him relevant.
So Roman's going to win the Elimination Chamber?
Probably.
Have you seen those rumors with Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan,
Shorty G, Sheamus?
Yeah, all them in the Elimination Chamber. I'm like, that's not going to fucking happen. Get the fuck out of here.
So this whole Super's I just don't want to see because Bray, either you're gonna do what you did to Seth Rollins last time you were in Saudi Arabia, or Goldberg's gonna squash Bray Wyatt and you're gonna kill Bray Wyatt's character again.
Yeah. Is it too early to kill Bray Wyatt's character like
yes.
that? Okay, good. I agree. I know, and a lot of people have that love-hate thing. Again, there's been people that say, I turned on WWE programming and I see this Firefly Funhouse shit and it's fucking stupid, and that's cool. You don't have to like it. But what really matters to them is that it's working for the majority. And I do like The Fiend's character.
And I love the dual personality they're doing, kind of almost Foley-ish.
Yep.
But it's way dark. It's way darker because this is kind of the times that we live in.
And it's almost as if it's like a New Age Undertaker type. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't even say Taker. I'd say more like original Mankind.
Yeah.
If anything.
That dual personality. Yeah, you can see that.
Because the whole have a nice day and bye.
See you in hell.
Yeah. I see more Foley than Taker.
We had a Sami Zayn and Cesaro out in the ring. Sami Zayn with a ukulele and Cesaro with his cowbell.
I hate the fact that they got the cowbell over, and so Cesaro just tossed it.
Yeah, and he was saying, it's too much cowbell. Not enough cowbell. Too much cowbell. And Cesaro just fucking bailed on it. You can't get rid of the cowbell.
Because the whole crowd just goes, we want cowbell.
Elias ended up coming down and got involved, and so did Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman ended up, clearing house. Just fodder again, more fodder on SmackDown. Now you had, which I was looking forward to, honestly, was the date night between Mandy Rose and Otis.
Otis was nervous about the whole night. I'm like, I would be too.
Otis was nervous as fuck, and he was even practicing last week with some role playing at the dinner table, and So I was looking forward to this, and at first I was kind of bummed because Otis shows up to the restaurant and Dolph Ziggler is there behind Mandy surprising her, and then they're sitting at dinner together enjoying some wine. Otis drops his roses and bows his head and takes off.
Like, poor Otis, I almost cried a little bit.
I did feel bad for him, but you know what? This story is working because when they finally do link up, it's just going to mean that much more.
So no, I said this goes one of two ways. Either Mandy Rose becomes the most hated woman in WWE with the most heat, or Otis and Mandy become like the most over kayfabe couple in WWE.
I hope that it's the latter. I hope it's Mandy and Otis because I don't think that I think that Mandy is a sexual object, obviously, for a lot of people, because I don't think people are on board with her character. I don't think.
In other words, she's dig beat material.
Yeah, that's really all she is. So if you put her with Otis, that shoots her to the moon, I think. I don't think it does if you put her with Dolph and give her that'll be go away heat for a lot of people because it'd be such a shitty thing.
But as I was saying, she'll be having probably the most heat of any woman in that company for breaking Otis's heart.
Is that what you do, Smitty?
No. I would love to see Otis, like, everybody loves the underdog story.
Yes.
Everybody loves a successful underdog story.
And I think that's kind of where WWE is going right now. When you look at like Lacey Evans, and she's gone from this, stuck up bitch heel to this girl next door, girl power. I served in the, in the military. I love my daughter, wholesome family woman. That's giving these women more appeal. That's making them look at the WWE a little more like, they can relate to that. So when you have this blue collar dude that can get a piece of ass like Mandy Rose,
yeah.
If he can get that, then dudes,
there's hope for all of us.
Dudes like all this, like this, dad,
all
Bob,
of this,
and
all this sexual chocolate. Damn it!
That's right. They can get that idea that they can get a woman like that. So.
Come on, Otis.
Got this. Otis got it.
I said when SmackDown comes to Detroit, there's a line from the Temptation movie saying, "Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis." I'm gonna have a sign that says, "I came to see Otis."
Yes. So I do. I hope that they go with Otis, and even if it takes a couple of weeks and Dolph Ziggler's interjected himself and is this, trying to get in the way, and Otis ultimately ends up beating the fuck out of him.
Oh, people will cheer the hell out of Otis.
Yeah. I think they did the right thing with getting Dolph involved because I didn't think it was too soon for them to hook up, but this just makes it that much better when they finally do.
Let's be honest, say if, because it's still the WWE.
That's true. That's true. To close the night, Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, well, at the time as a mystery partner,
we all knew who it was. Let's be honest.
Taking on John Morrison and The Miz.
Oh, back to your Randy Orton comment about him being better as a heel. The same thing can be said about The Miz. The Miz is a stale face, but he is a stellar heel.
Randy Orton said that Daniel Bryan's better.
No, what you said about Randy Orton being a better heel. I said the same goes for the guys like for the Miz.
Yeah,
stale as hell as a baby face, but it's a phenomenal heel.
Yeah, I would agree. I didn't really care for this match. I don't think you needed to put The Miz and Morrison in this match, especially to lose going into their match against the New Day at Super Showdown.
Which has me feeling that there may be a title change at Super Showdown.
Yeah, we could see that. Because New Day have had it for a while now.
They've had it for a while, but they're not being featured.
Yeah. And
the tag team titles are non-relevant on SmackDown.
I still feel in the back of my mind somewhere that the New Day is over.
Why would Xavier being hurt?
Yeah. We're inevitably going to see the demise of the New Day because while they were hot and super over with the crowd, eventually that's going to end.
So, it's like Xavier's hurt, so I think that's the reason they've been trying to keep him off TV because the trio's not there. It's just the two of them.
Yeah.
And Xavier's pretty much the mouthpiece of the group, even though they all prove they can talk.
Right. I don't know, though. We'll have to wait and see. But nonetheless, Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan got the win at the end of SmackDown. Corbin showed his face. He bought a ticket. He bought a ticket. He was suspended for pouring a beer or whatever it was that he poured on the fan the week before, and then ended up getting slightly involved, and then sitting up on his throne at the top of the stage, even though he's suspended. That looked to me really dumb. That was really dumb.
Hey, booty. Tickle, tickle, tickle.
Let me give you a little bit of the tickle butt. So yeah, I mean, SmackDown was okay. It was all okay. I think.
And SmackDown was just like I feel like my heart goes out to Otis.
Yeah, it was hard to watch. It's like, man, come on. Overall, for the whole week, I would have to give AEW and NXT the top notch as we always do.
Santana and Moxley, that match was fucking great.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying the things that Moxley is doing in AEW, and AEW.
Oh, he's carrying an eye patch thing in the New Japan as well, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
He's feuding with Minoru Suzuki and he's still wearing an eye patch.
Well, and you're going 2 steps forward with AEW. They got to stop taking that step or two back. You know, they need to start clarifying some things and really solidifying themselves. If they want to solidify themselves as competition, alternative, I don't give a fuck, whatever word you want to use, whatever you think you are, you have to create your identity and do something to separate yourself from everybody else. Because right now, everybody looks at everything AEW does as, oh, WWE's done that before, or WCW did that before, or Impact's done that, or it's not, AEW did that.
So here's the thing about AEW is being a new company, especially in today's society, or today's wrestling, where the internet, you have access to any and everything that's ever wrestling over via the internet. Nothing is original.
Right.
Everything has been done before.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole Dynamite Dozen Ring, whatever, that one was the MJF one.
Mm-hmm.
That was something that was kind of fresh, but it was like, what are we going to do with this? And they really haven't done it much, but MJF just shows it off every time.
He hit Jungle Boy in the face with that.
Yeah. It's a weapon now.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things, like they try. It seems like they're still trying to just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah. I
will say this. I do love the AEW tag team division. They said they were going to do. They were going to make the tag team division count, and they have.
Yeah.
Their singles, like the ranking system, still is kind of choppy. They seem like but they're getting better at it slowly with the ranking system. There are things there's a lot of things that need work. I still say the women's division needs a lot of work.
The women's division needs a lot of work. There are rules and regulations in the match that still bothers me with officiating and the ranking systems. I thought when I first heard about the ranking systems, I was actually really excited about that.
It's still choppy as hell.
And like
I say, the tag team ranking system is the only one that kind of makes sense right now.
Well, and it's kind of like, oh, Smitty, I'm gonna go today. I'm gonna go fucking buy a house. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna buy a house, and I'll figure it out when I get there. When I go there, I'm gonna buy it, but I don't know how, but I'm gonna do it. Okay, well, we're going to have wins and losses matter. We don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. We'll let you know when we get there, but it might not work. And, it's so disappointing. So I really hope that maybe this week was,
there's a glimmer of hope for you.
A glimmer of hope. And then you have Revolution coming up in less than 2 weeks now. Their last pay-per-view was awesome. Everybody really enjoyed Full Gear. I'm really hoping the same thing with this. I do want to say, though, about Revolution is that pisses me off, is that on Fight TV, it's only $20. But I can't get it on Fight TV because you can only watch it on Fight if you're overseas. So here you got to watch it on Bleacher Report, and it's $50.
Oh, that fucking blows.
So, there are other ways to watch it, which I've been introduced to, and I will probably be doing that. But $50, dude. I still NWA has hit the fucking mark. $25, and if you do it ahead of time, it's $20.
So the funny thing is, I finally got around to actually watching Hard Times 2 weeks ago.
What'd you think?
Decent. I thought the first one was better.
Into the Fire?
Into the Fire was better than Hard Times, but it was still pretty decent. I liked Marty Scurll versus Aldis. That was solid. Mm-hmm. Thunder Rosa and Allison Kay was probably the best match they had on that card.
Oh, you mean Flip Gordon and
Flip Gordon, yeah. Well, Allison Kay versus Thunder Rosa was probably the best match they had on that card.
That's what we said here on the show too.
And I'm not too. All I've seen is bits and clips of Thunder Rosa before her joining NWA, and fucking seeing her actually go in there and actually go was nice.
Thunder Rosa had a mishap this week. She had an accident where I want to say it was her car or something she got into an accident or. Hold on, I want to look it up really quick. And if you haven't been watching, definitely check out Thunder Rosa. Check out NWA Power. I did miss it this week. That's why I really didn't have a chance to talk about it. But
yeah, I'm behind on a lot of stuff. I've been kind of out of the loop.
Yeah, so Thunder Rosa this weekend, for those of you not familiar, she is the current NWA Women's Champion. She beat Allison Kay at the last pay-per-view, Hard Times. She was involved in a hit and run. Her car suffered damages and is in need of repairs. To a wrestler, a car is their lifeline. The job requires a lot of travel as you go from show to show. Where NWA works on a tape schedule, Rosa also picks up work in independent promotions and also still fights in MMA. So she's selling off some of her in-ring gear right now to earn some money to help fix her car. And so we wish the best of luck to Thunder Rosa, our own almighty.
Do a GoFundMe. Do a GoFundMe. The stripper that fell off my 15-foot pole made damn $50K in 4 days.
What?
Oh, a stripper. There was a stripper in Texas that fell off a 15-foot pole. She made $50K off of a GoFundMe in less than 3 days.
Oh, shit. I didn't know she started GoFundMe. What I was going to say, though, is our own Almighty One had the chance last week to hang out with some of the women from NWA.
I was there, too, but I was working.
Maureen Tracy was there, Allison Kay.
Ashley Vox. Marty Bell.
They were all in for, what was the name of
Cupid
that run?
Undie Run.
Cupid Undie Run.
ODB was there, too. She was cool.
Yeah, and they were all hanging out at Shillelagh, right?
Yep.
That's really cool. So, shout out to all of them, and best of luck to Thunder Rosa. If you have the chance, definitely, just all you got to do is really Google her. You'll find a couple of news articles and some links to help her out. And, and if you have a chance, make sure you watch NWA Power this week. Be on Tuesday. You can watch every fucking episode of Power on YouTube right now. So if you haven't watched it, binge it.
Binge that shit.
I think that's about it. Tonight, make sure you watch online on the streaming service that you are all familiar with. Takeover Portland, NXT style. Go to ProWrestlingScorecards.com and print out your scorecard and make sure you get involved with that because you can compete with us. I want to get Mikey involved, and I want us to be able to do something where we can have our own competition, maybe at the end of every month, whoever wins, out of all of our fans of the show, maybe we can create a group on ProWrestlingScorecards.com and they can win a shirt or something like that. So because that would be a really cool thing to get a lot more people involved. Put us over, put Pro Wrestling Scorecards over. So,
yep. We got plenty of nice stuff.
So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that might be something we can do here in the near future. But
we got merchandise on BreakingDownTheRing.com.
We do have merchandise on BreakingDownTheRing.com. Not only do we have merchandise on BreakingDownTheRing.com, but on BreakingDownTheRing.com, you can actually customize and pick the colors that you like, the type of shirt that it is, the logo. We've got a few different logos on there. it's fucking. There's no reason to not check it out. You can see Mikey's stupid face on there with the title. But yeah, definitely check out BreakingDownTheRing.com. I'm plugging it away, BreakingDownTheRing.com. Follow us on all of our social medias, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, and fucking TikTok. We're on TikTok now.
We are?
We are on TikTok. It's like TikTok was here, and then it was here, then it was here, then now it's here again. Definitely check out at BDRcast on TikTok. And we're going to be posting videos on there all the time of some stupid shit, and it's funny. It's funny to watch. Good shit. But yeah.
We're going to bite each other.
I'm going to bite Smitty's neck later. Yeah, check it all out. We're not going to be at Buffalo Wild Wings tonight for the pay-per-view, but we will be there for the Elimination Chamber next month. Can't really think of the date offhand. I apologize, but we'll be there watching. And then, of course, the WrestleMania fucking pay-per-view Buffalo Wild Wings event coming in April. We'll be there with giveaways and all kinds of good shit to give away. But for now, we are your crew.
Smitty, the return of Smitty.
He's back!
And I'm blacker than ever.
I knew that's what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and I'm, the small-handed assassin, Nick, the dick, the prick, the spick, the flick, the
racist bastard.
racist prick. And we are out.